review of a game, and we will be doing one I have played maybe 20 hours on so far. I've tried all 4 of the characters on Outriders. My favorite and main will be the Technomancer when it comes out on April 1st this year. So let's talk about the characters. First, we have the Technomancer, a support and long-range character who heals through damage with his abilities. Then we have the Pyromancer, who does damage on kills with his abilities. Then we have the Trickster, which heals through think kills as well on his abilities. I may be wrong, I would have to check, but I'm pretty sure it heals through kills. Then we have the Devastator, I believe, is the tank class. He heals by being up front, in front of people, and getting heals off of kills. It doesn't have to be through skills, but any kill will do. So each class is unique. Every class has a skill tree with 8 abilities, right, like this. The demo gives you the first 4. And to switch out the abilities, you have to drag and drop, which is real easy, real simple for people that like just the ease of it. Just drop, move on. Drop, move on. The skills are unique. I really enjoy the skills. Some give your weapons elemental effects. Like with the Technomancer, it gives me blight on my weapons, and it deals damage to everyone in a certain area for a certain percentage of the damage being dealt. Every class has its unique charm, and the gear is essential. If you want to make a good in-game build when the game comes out, you need the right skills. I'll get more into that next, after we finish up the skills and the classes. Next is the classes. Each class has three classes attached to the one class you choose from. For Technomancer, it's Pestilence, Tech, and Demolisher.
I know, I'm part of the cleaning crew.
I currently don't have a Trickster character because I'm trying to save my slots for characters I build when the game comes out. But I have played with each and every single one of them to the end of the demo. So each class is like I said, fun to play. But every person will be able to spec into it differently due to that huge class tree I showed. There won't be one specific build for each thing. You can build it multiple ways. Like you can go, let's see. Like right now, I'm going through the Tech Shaman skill. But, as you can see, there's a little line that goes up, and I can go either into Pestilence, or I can go down into Demolisher. Which gives you free reign to build your class the way you want. Except for right here. The last little bit determines what you're going to finally spec into. You have 2 chances to change. Here, and here. Those are your only 2 chances to spec out of a certain tree. So like, if I wanted to get the blur screen, that I would have to go either through here, go up through the pestilence, and then go down into tech shaman, or go to tech shaman and go up to pestilence. And you could say the same for wipeout. You can either go down into demolisher or up through demolisher to tech shaman. So the classes are diversive. So gear. I think that will cover up all skills.
Can she help you?
The gear. Oh, let me. Here, I'll go to right here. Gear. Gear is cool. Like right here. Gear, your armor and your weapons can have mods. If I remember correctly, we'll be able to put mods into weapons and level them up when the game comes out fully, or we'll be able to scrap them for resources and mods. So the gear is essential, as each weapon can either boost your damage, put elemental effects, or even weaken your enemies. Each class is available to the assault rifles, the shotguns, the snipers, SMGs. They're not beholden to a certain category. You can play whatever style you want to. As for me, I like to do the assault for up close and personal, just quick kill, get them out of the way, and then go back to sniping. Or I can snipe off a few, then go in and kill just the grunts and stuff. The armor also is very helpful, as these can boost your, add different effects to your thing. Like this one right here, leech life. I can shoot and I can gain life from shooting them. But then your armor can also buff up your skills, which is super useful. You have your 5 categories: your helmet, your head, your chest, your, well, upper, lower, your gloves, and your foot gear. This is also called headgear, but I just call it helmet because, you know, it's still headgear. You got your armor right up here, which mine is unironically 911. My health, so my maximum amount of health that my character has. Also, your weapons can increase your anomaly power, I think, and your firepower. So my firepower 355, 266, but I can keep upgrading it. I have not found a single legendary, but I know there are videos out there that will show you all the legendaries currently. I haven't messed with them because I'm kind of waiting for the game to come out so I can mess with all of them all at once. Kind of like a huge buffet of legendaries. As soon as the game comes out, I'll be finding them. So yeah, they help your build. So pick your gear wisely, because it will either help build or break your gear or your build for whatever character you're doing. You can always have 3 skills equipped, and you just switch them out in and out whenever you need to. So, let's see, what else do I got on character that I need to talk about? You got a big old quest map that shows you the quests that you can do, areas you can teleport to, or teleport from, in this case. Like right there, still no quests there. There's only like quests. Where is it? Near the crossroads? Yeah, near the crossroads there's some. Yeah, I think it's near Bunker Hill, like right in this area. As my characters completed them all, I don't know. You just have to remember where they're at. So yeah, side quests are fun and plentiful. You got your kind of your journal for all the information that you pick up. Like your characters, info, lore. So let's see here. Trying to figure out what else is there. Just character-wise. Oh yeah, you can pick up crafting materials throughout the world to help craft stuff for later on when the game is fully released. There's also trying to think here. First review after all, so gotta give me a sec. Oh, let's talk about gameplay since we've gone over mechanics. Gameplay is great. Loot drops are good. You get a bunch of loot pretty easily. You don't have to grind too hard to get gear, which is nice. The legendaries do require a bit of grinding, but that's to be expected of high tier loot. Gunplay is fantastic. Critical hits make you feel satisfied as it's pretty much just an explosion of headpiece everywhere. The sounds are good when you shoot your weapons. Movement is good. I do wish they would have sensitivity. Like you could change your sensitivity and whatnot. The controls aren't too hard to learn. The only thing that it doesn't teach you is if you stand and hit, it's like that. That's your melee when you stand and hit. If you run and hit, you do that. If you walk and hit, you do the standing melee. So if you want to do a wide area effect melee, run and hit. Most guns are pretty accurate to hit where you want them to. You can see. I'm just barely pulling back on the trigger just to group up those shots. Because you can see they all mainly hit the center area where I was pointing. So there is some recoil depending on the gun. Like if I use this, must hit that one bullet spot. The recoil bounced a little, but if you let it lower back to its normal state, you'll hit that spot where you're looking no matter what, scope or not. You'll find loot containers like this, restocks, all over the place. Use them to refill your ammo. And then you'll find little boxes that look like foot lockers all over the place. They will contain the loot. So, let's talk about my worries of this game. There are not many. There are very few. The one of them is the mouse and voiceovers and sounds do not match up with the cutscenes. It's not a huge one. It can be very easily overlooked. See. I do have one thing with the Pyromancer. It may be my own personal opinion on this one, but I feel like instead of kills with his abilities, I feel like it should be like with the Technomancer. It should be damage with abilities. Because you'll be doing a lot of damage with the Pyromancer, which helps him heal. While he's waiting for his thanks to charge, he can get lowered health, and then he can use his abilities to start healing up again. Like the initial damage, not like the DPS, because then he'll constantly heal through that. Like with the pain launcher, it's not damage over time, it's missile barrage. It's each missile is its own damage tick, if I'm not mistaken, which continues to heal the Technomancer. So if the Pyromancer had Technomancer's healing ability, I feel like I would enjoy it a little bit more, since I wouldn't be like a pincushion, especially since he's supposed to be mid-range. And my character's long range, and yeah, I could get real close easily and not get completely obliterated by everything in my path. But yeah, that's my personal opinion on the Pyromancer. Doesn't mean the character's bad. I thoroughly enjoy the Pyromancer. I like setting everything on fire. I may need to seek help after saying that, but the story isn't pretty good. Don't really have to say much about that. The story's just really good. The story is good. I feel like an attachment with some of the characters that you get to know. Some of them not so much, as they are part of side quests, like the gun shop owner inside Rift Town. You don't get much of a connection with her besides, you know, saving her from a side quest enemy that you don't even get to kill. It's just side quest stuff. Let's see. I think I had one more. Let's see, what was it? Yeah. Sometimes the captains can be a little... Well, not all the time. It's very, very short. Their abilities can be a nuisance, but once again, that's one of my personal problems with the game. Like with the Vortex, I hate that thing. Doesn't mean it's bad. I just personally don't like it. Which isn't bad. Oh, yep. I forgot about this. World Tiers. Probably the greatest thing I've ever seen in a looter shooter. I mean, with Diablo, they kind of had the same thing with their, you know, difficulties. You get rewarded the higher difficulty it is, but the difficulty is much, much harder. So with tiers, the difficulty gets harder, but you get rewarded more. So it's a risk reward, give and take. And there's 15 tiers. And it is good. It is good. Probably the best, if I'm not mistaken. Probably the best thing I've seen. Because, I mean, like Borderlands 3, it has its mayhem, and it's like, okay, the enemies are this much stronger, but they also have these things attached, but the loot drop is greater. So, the loot mechanics are very well set in stone. And I thoroughly enjoy it because it's like, hey, I need better loot. Oh, let's switch up the difficulty tier. Let's see. Character customization, it leaves a little to be desired, but at the same time, it's like not bad. It gets what you want done. Because this game isn't quite too much about like making the best looking character, it's about making the best gear fitted build character. In my preference, at least. I mean, your character can look good, but at the same time, you're going to be more worried about how your character performs in a firefight. And bosses, the one boss in the demo is quite satisfying. You feel powered when you fight him. He's not a pushover, not by any means. He's strong, he gives you a challenge, but he also like teaches you like, hey, if you don't use your skills, you're going to lose this fight. Because you're going to constantly need that health and that damage to keep fighting through it. Especially as a Technomancer, because the more damage you deal with your things, the more you heal out of it.
What?
Altered! Give that captain what's coming to him.
The replayability of side quests, that's fun, because that just gives you more opportunity to get loot. So, yeah, there's not much complaints from me.
Time I settle up with this captain.
Other than like the mouse and the sound effects and my own personal problems, I would probably give this game a 8 out of 10. Even I would go as low as maybe a 6 or a 7, but this game is good. I suggest you try out the demo before making your own like super opinionated things. Like saying, oh, it's just a mix of this, this, and this, without even trying it, because then you're losing out on what this game really is. Like, I granted, I can see similarities, but this game tries to make them its own. And I enjoy that. It's its own game in its own right, and it deserves to be a game in its own right.
I remember that voice.
So, yeah. Do give this game a fair chance without judging it before, you know, judging it and saying it's bad. Because it does deserve everyone's fair chance, just like any game does. Ooh, accolade done. Oh, that's another thing I forgot to mention, so before I end the stream and the review, let's talk accolades. Accolades is kind of like, the best I would say is like a battle pass, but more rewarding, because you don't have to pay for it, thank God. It's stuff you earn by proving, like, your skill in the game. It's there to show your growth and your improvement. And I thoroughly enjoy that, because it honestly gives you some good rewards out of it. cover fire is actually like some of the best mechanics I've seen. I mean, Gear's got it, but I feel different with this. Like, it feels like you're actually needing to use it. Like, it's essential to playing safely. And I enjoy it. I honestly enjoy it. So if you can, yeah, give this game a whirl. Give it a good old look-see before judging it and putting it on the back burner. So yeah, that will end my review of this game. At least a 6 or a 7 out of 10. I would give it an 8 personally, an 8 or a 9 personally.
Captain should be holed up somewhere in here.
Because this game is good. It has a lot of potential to become better. And that's what I hope for it when it launches. So yeah. Thank you, you fellow yokai, for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.